Well, you think about the Bible and King David. Most of those people probably, if they were alive back in those days, would have said, "Oh, what a horrible guy." The episode with Bathsheba and some of the other things that he did. And yet, he was a man after God's own heart. God uses different people for different times. You need somebody with a Manhattan business type of personality to deal with the administrative state. There are some real wolves in that Manhattan business environment, and to succeed in that, you don't just kind of be a flowery, nice person necessarily. No. That doesn't mean he can't be. I've seen him. When he's not being attacked, he's a wonderful person. Everybody, I think, would love him.
Since Trump World randomly mentions the Bible as a crutch to convince MAGA that they support a moral figure, Ben Carson got even lazier, and he compared Trump to King David there, just to say he's like a figure from biblical times. A figure that raped, committed adultery, and murdered the husband of the woman he victimized. So Neil Cavuto asked him to answer for it.
But just to be clear, you're comparing him to King David?
The volume is very low.
Okay, I'm sorry. You are, just to put up for the record, you're comparing him to King David, and that worked out well for King David, and that this is another King David, right?
I don't know about him, king, but certainly he has some policies that are very worthwhile. And the other thing, Neil, that must be mentioned, if the left is allowed to use the DOJ to hurt him and to eliminate him from the process, then that's when we lose democracy.
I'm sorry, Neil. Now that you asked me to make some kind of sense out of my comparing Trump to a vicious, snake-like king from the Bible, I can't hear you, bro. But I can move on and throw out some standard talking points about how much the DOJ is weaponized against a guy that I just called a rapist and a murderer. Carson already got his ass kicked around by Trump back in 2015, but how are his current fearful opponents dodging these sexual assault history questions as well?
You're the only woman in this race. How do you feel about your party's front runner being held liable for sexual abuse?
I mean, first of all, I haven't paid attention to his cases, and I'm not a lawyer. All I know is that he's innocent until proven guilty, and when he's proven guilty and he's sitting in a courtroom, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got investigations on Trump and Biden.
But a lot of people, forgive me, but a lot of people in the Republican Party blow it all off and say that it's all a witch hunt, and which is
because
what
I think
says.
some of the cases have been political.
Particular?
This one I haven't looked at, but look, if he's found guilty, then he needs to pay the price. He needs to do what he's supposed to. Every one of these cases, they need to be heard out. He needs to defend himself. If he is found guilty, he's going to pay the price. If he's not found guilty, then we move forward. What I will tell you is, I'm focused on the economy, the border, and education, and getting our country back on track. If he's sitting in a courtroom, that goes back to what I'm saying. We can't continue to be distracted. We can't continue to be in chaos. We have a country to save.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley hasn't been paying any attention to the very important court cases that have her political opponent reeling on a daily basis. She knows nothing at all. He's innocent until proven guilty, except for the fact that that's already happened, Nikki. Does anyone really think that Nikki Haley knows nothing about the embarrassing Republican House investigation into Joe Biden either? Do you think she'd say that he's innocent until proven guilty and that we shouldn't pay any attention to it until he is? The reason that she's stuck stumping for Trump over his sexual assault cases is because her party and their pundits have successfully convinced their voters that sexual assault is next to godliness.
The Judiciary Committee has been looking into the weaponization of the DOJ and the FBI and how they've been politicized. 8 out of 10 people in Iowa said that they believe that these charges are political.
Yeah,
that message has gotten out.
They believe it because that's the case.
Sean Hannity is proud that the propaganda machine is still working on Republicans. They openly call their supporters suckers, and they just take it. Ben Carson didn't even have any reason to slowly dodge his comparison, because here's their King David and his thoughts on sexual assault.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet, just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the, you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the.
Well, that's what it's, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.